Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Papa Boris, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to play Star Realms. If you don't know, Star Realms is a two-player deck building card game in which your objective is to kill your opponent. It's going to be a very familiar game to you if you've ever played a game like Dominion, and in fact, it might be even more familiar to you if you've ever played the game Ascension, which is based on Dominion, but which this game clearly is inspired by. I do like this game a lot, though, and that's why I'm doing this video. I'm not going to play it that much on my channel, but hopefully this will convince you that you either do like it and want to buy it, or that you don't like it and you don't want to buy it. It's small, so it makes a really great stocking stuffer, especially if there is one person in your life that you play games with, because this is, at the moment, I believe, barring some expansions I don't know about, exclusively a two-player game. So at the beginning of the game, each player starts with a deck consisting of 10 cards that, as you can imagine, are garbage. There's 8 cards that just give you a coin when you play them, and then there's 2 cards that do 1 damage, or basically give you 1 attack power when you play them. In this game, unlike in Dominion, oh my god, can we, how do I close these windows? There we go. So in this game, coins, when you play them, are used to purchase cards. In the card row, there's basically like just one gigantic deck of cards, and you deal out 5 that are available to purchase. When a card is purchased, it's replaced, and you just keep going until somebody dies. I don't know how possible it is to run out the whole deck, but I believe if you do run out the whole deck, you just shuffle all the discards and keep going. But there's, unlike in Dominion, as I was saying, there's no limit to how many cards you can play, so you can just simply play out all your cards. If you play cards that draw cards, you can play those cards as well. So coins buy cards. Strength is used to attack your opponent, and the object of the game is to bring your opponent's health down to 0, although we'll see that attack power can also do more than just damage your opponent. Now let's talk about the different kinds of cards you can buy. There's 2 main types of cards. There's ships, and then there's outposts. In this UI, you can see the ships are like, right side up, whereas the outposts are horizontal. Ship is basically just a card that when you play it does stuff. So like this Imperial Frigate, when you play it, your opponent discards a card, and you also get 4 attack power. Ships come from, and outposts too, come from one of 4 factions. We can see 3 different, actually we can see all 4 factions here. There's the Imperials, the Star Empire, there's the Machine Cult, which are the red dudes, the blue ones are the Trade Federation, and my personal favorite, the Blob! Pretty much when I play this game, every green card I just call the Blob, because they're all just big blobs. So the point is that with the 4 different factions, there are synergies. So if you play this card and you have already played a Star Empire card previously to this one, then you get 2 strength. And if you play this card, and then you later play another Star Empire card, you get this as well. So basically, if you play 2 Imperial Frigates or 2 Star Empire cards, you get all their synergies. You get the one that you played first and the one that you played later. So it's potentially very strong, and that's why you may want to try to go for a particular, tribe or 2, instead of just, buying random good cards, because if you go for tribes, you get some potentially very valuable synergies. And so that's part of the thing that makes this game so great. Part of the strategy of it is like choosing, that tension with like how many tribes do I go for, how much of each tribe, and to what extent should I go for the tribal synergies versus just getting random good cards. Now, outposts are kind of like ships in that you play them, and they have an effect. Like the machine base, when you play it, you draw a card, then scrap a card from your hand. Scrap, of course, being this game's term for trash, meaning permanently remove. Now, the difference between the bases and the ships is that when you play a base, it stays in play. This is a game where everything is discarded at the end of your turn, except for the bases. The bases stay. And the bases have hit points, so your opponent can send attack damage towards your bases to try to kill them. Now, the catch is that you need to deal the full base's amount of damage to kill it. So if you send like 3 strength at this outpost 6 machine base, then you just, that strength was totally wasted and you achieved nothing with that strength. The bases, you can think of them as kind of like Magic the Gathering minions, which automatically heal to full at the end of the turn. Now, it just so happens all the bases that were drawn are outposts. Outposts have taunt, so that when you have an outpost in play, your opponent must send any strength that they play towards that base until that base dies. And so basically your opponent is forced to kill them, or if they don't have enough strength to kill them, forced to just waste their strength on nothing. If you have there are other bases that are just normal bases, and in that case your opponent chooses they could send strength toward those bases to destroy them and prevent you from getting a recurring benefit, or they can just ignore that and go to your face. And some cards, like this Imperial Frigate, have a trash icon. After you play one of them, you may permanently destroy it. You can scrap it to get its effect. This is something that is another element of strategy in the game. When should you scrap your cards? Because the end of the game is coming and you just gotta go, go, go. And when should you hang on to them? Now, the last thing I should mention is Explorers. This is kind of like the silver of the game. You have a deck of these that are always available to purchase. They cost 2, and they give you 2 money. And you can scrap them to get 2 strength. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the cost of every card is the number in the upper right-hand corner. Now, the AI already went, and can I see what they bought? Yes, they bought an Imperial Frigate, which are very annoying. They do a bunch of damage and make you discard a card. So what I'm going to do is, on my turn, I will also purchase an Imperial Frigate. In case you can't tell, I have not played that much with this app, so now we have a Blob Destroyer coming out. Ooh, that's a good one. Love this one. And then I'm also going to get this Blob Fighter. I could get the Explorer, but I love the Blob, so we're just going to go for Blob it, and we're going to blob it up. Now, you could argue that was a bad play because with these expensive bases out, there's some value in just generating money, but we're just going to play stupidly this time. We're up against the AI. We'll see how good the AI is. We're going for Blob Fighter Town. This does mean I wasted a gold because I didn't use up all my gold. Okay, what did this person do? It goes by kind of quickly. Maybe I should have paid better attention to it. They bought the Blob Wheel. No! Oh, one of my favorites. So it has 5 strength. It's not an outpost, so you don't have to use it. It just does 1 damage every round. But more importantly, bases have their faction symbols, so they basically guarantee that you generate synergy. Like, if you have a Blob Wheel in play, any Blob card you play every single turn is always going to get its synergy bonuses. Okay, so let's go ahead and play all our cards. We're going to do 2 damage to the face of the opponent because there's nothing else to do with it. And then I've got 3 gold. We can get... Oh, it's nice that the game highlights your options for you. We can get the Embassy Yacht, which is 3 health. You gain health. 2 gold. And if you have 2 more bases, you draw 2 cards. Or I can just get an Explorer. Well, this is the same as an Explorer, but it's better because it also heals me. So kind of an easy choice there. And then we end the turn. All in all, this is a pretty decent app on Steam. I don't mind it. All right, so is there like a log? Oh, I have to discard a card. Oh, I'll just discard this Viper. That's totally fine. I don't care about that 1 strength. Is there a log that shows you like all the stuff that happened? No. So, oh, there's a log. Hey, here we go. Here we go. So, okay, wow, that is just kind of hard to do. So, because it doesn't show you what the stuff is. Okay, not the greatest app, but it's sort of slick enough. So they got, it seems, a survey ship. It's a pretty good card. 1 gold and draw a card, so it's a cycler. They can make you discard a card once, and then, of course, it provides synergy for this Imperial Frigate, so now they'll be doing an extra 2 strength if the opponent can get them at the same time. Okay, let's play all of our cards. So we can either get 2 Explorers or 1 of these bases. So this is just an outpost that is 1 gold, and then you can refresh 2 cards, or Blob Destroyer. What does the Blob Destroyer do? Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to go for the Blob Destroyer. Also called just the Blob. It's just the Blob. All right, so they played the Blob Wheel because he's an asshole. And then he bought an Explorer and the Imperial card for some synergy. Okay, cool. So here, let's go ahead and... I don't get either of the synergies, sadly. But let's just play everything. So my opponent's going to have to discard a card. Sucks to be them. And I have 7 strength. Do I throw away 5 strength just to get rid of the Blob Wheel? Well, they don't have any Blob cards, so the synergy doesn't matter. And it's just 1 strength a turn. You know what? F it. I'm going to go to the face. We are going to beat them up. Bam! And then I have only 3 goals. I can buy an Explorer or another Embassy Yacht. Well, let's go ahead and just get the Embassy Yacht, I guess. It doesn't actually have synergy or anything, but it gives me more of these things in case I get more of the Trade Federation cards in the future. Having 2 bases in play is kind of tough because you have to, first of all, buy the bases, and then second of all, you need to actually, in addition to having the bases in play, your opponent needs to not be destroying them. I got my Imperial Frigate again. By the way, this game, similar to a lot of deck building games, you know, everything you buy goes into your discard. When your deck runs out, you shuffle your discard, make a new deck, and then you draw. So that's how I'm seeing the Imperial Frigate 2 turns in a row. It was at the end of the first draw, and then it's at the beginning of this one. And I'd like to get a blob base, or really a base of any kind, but as it is, it looks like I'm not getting that. So I'm going to get some more blob. I can get a ram, which is just a bunch of damage, and you can pitch it for 3 coins. Or the trade pod, which is 3 coins. So the trade pod, I'm going to get that. Even though this does a bunch more damage, this gives me some damage if I get the synergy, and I need some money. And I will buy an explorer, because I do want to get some money at some point. And then... oh, I see it's lining up because I can choose to pitch it to, yeah. So I'm going to let him keep doing a damage to me. We're going to just go face. We're gonna Zerg Rush the medium AI, or possibly die trying. So, did you play 2 discard effects? Oh, what an asshole. I have to discard 2 cards. Well, clearly it was going to be the Scouts. Sadly, I didn't draw my Vipers, so I don't get to discard those. So I'm going to get 4 gold. It would have been 6, and I could have bought this pretty sick-ass base if my opponent hadn't made me discard everything. So with 4, I can get 2 Explorers or one of these cards. Now, I don't want to go for the scrapping strategy right now, because I already have 3 different factions in my deck, and it's just an Explorer. But the Blob, I definitely want the Blob. All right, so we're going to just end the turn. Nothing else we can buy. Oh, we got Blob. We got 2 Blobs. I'm not even paying attention to what the opponent's doing. We're just Blobtown, USA. Oh, I get to draw 1 because of the synergy. So this lets me destroy a base or a card in the row. There is some merit to destroying cards sometimes. Like if your opponent is building up a lot of gold, you're like, oh, well, I should probably get rid of this so that my opponent doesn't get this like ridiculously epic base, you know. But I will just destroy the blob wheel. The nice thing about destroying bases is that it does like put the thing in the discard, then they have to draw it and play it, so it kind of like blocks a draw. Wait, no, I don't want to use my combat. I want to use the ability. Okay, yes, I wanted to use this ability. Aha, wow, that's okay. That's interesting how that's programmed. Oh, is this an and? Oh, it's and or. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, I don't have very much money, so I think I will get rid of the Imperial synergy. That is a ridiculously powerful card, because this is, you get a strength every time you play a ship. So like even like your starting crappy cards each add a strength. So it's like play your hand and it's like 5 strength. It's just like an insane base. So yes, I will get rid of that so that my opponent can't buy it. Oh, and we get a battle blob. Yes. Okay, so we're definitely gonna buy that. 4 strength scrapping, and then it's 6 strength if I have more blob. And then I have 10 strength. Why, yes, I think oh, did I not play the Viper? Oh, I drew the Viper from the blob synergy. So 11 to the face. Your turn, bitch. Okay, so we have just a money hand. Is this person going to make me discard cards? Yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. Fine. So I only have 5 instead of 6, which means, again, I can't buy the base. Kind of annoying. I think I will get this. It's healing, it's money, and it's potentially for attack power. I do have a couple of those things sitting around. How much was this? That was just 2? Oh, so I still have another 3. I see. I think I will buy this just so my opponent doesn't. It's the one that makes you discard a card. And it does suck that I'm filling my deck up with just discard a card, but it is also for attack power, and I'm pursuing evidently a face strategy here, so I think I should do that. What do you have here? How did he do 11? How did he do 11 damage to me? Oh my god, I'm getting wrecked. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of a scout. And what do you have? 2 strength per turn. Well, it's taunt, and that's taunt as well, so I'm just gonna blow these all up anyways. Alrighty, so I got no synergy, 3 different factions. Let's blow that up, let's blow that up, let's deal 1 to the face. My opponent's facing me better than I'm facing him. And then with 3, I still don't want to do this because that's an extra faction. So we'll get the Explorer, and I'm probably going to... I mean, I should really consider just pitching that for money. Maybe I should have pitched it for money and bought like a big base with it. Draw a card. It's 4 damage. I don't want to pitch those. I want to draw them and try to face my opponent down. We'll see how this goes. I might just lose to the medium AI here. Okay, so my opponent had a pretty weak turn that time. Now we get to do the blob! Yes! And I will play that as well. All right, so we have 8 gold and 5 strength. Wow, congratulations. I played myself. I got rid of the 8 gold base, and somehow got $1 zillion. So, what do we have? Oh, these are all bases. So let's see here. I don't want the supply bot. This is the fourth faction, which I don't necessarily want. Draw a card. No, I don't want to do that. So this is taunt 6 and 3 gold per turn. Pretty good. 5 strength if you pitch it, and it's just taunt 5 for 3 gold. And then that is 2 strength a turn with taunt. Okay, what I'll do here is we'll just get this one. And then we'll get an explorer. And I should really adopt a policy of just trashing all my explorers when I haven't spent combat. Whoa, thank you, game. I would like to face my opponent for 5. I need to adopt a policy of just trashing all my explorers when I get them. I have to discard a card, eh? Fine. We'll discard a scout. Okay. So we get to do the blob! And that means 13 to your face. Ha! Suck it. And then what? Well, with 3, I think I will get this thing. It's stupid, but it is taunt 5, and it does give me... I have unused abilities. What? Oh, destroy target base and or scrap a card in the row. Well, I don't want to scrap any of these because I don't want my opponent getting that Imperial thing that he has, and that I don't want to do. So, okay, so I, in fact, will continue without using my scrap a card ability. Alright, my opponent played some card and trashed it. Still at 6 health. By the way, those cards I got, these dudes, the ones that heal you, they kind of make a big difference over time. I think I can probably kill my opponent here. What the... Play the rest of the cards manually? Why? Why can't I just play that? Well, anyway, I think I just kill my opponent. Yeah! Well, that just goes to show how you can win with the blob. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.